Hi everybody, this is Miss Marty again from Occupational Therapy at Southgate. Today I'm going to show you how to make a goo bag. This is going to be good for a few different skills. We're going to show you a few different activities. It's going to be working on sensory exploration, fine motor skills, and visual perception. So the first thing you have to do is make your goo bag. So the easiest way to do it is going to be to just get a gallon Ziploc baggie and some hair gel. That's all that's in here. Pour it inside, close it up, and you are ready to go. It's the right consistency. You want it to be firm but a little bit liquidy, something that you can move around and color in. If you don't have hair gel, that's okay. I made my own goo bag here. This is made out of a little concoction of soap and cornstarch and laundry detergent. I added in about a whole bottle of travel size shampoo, a few swigs of laundry detergent, maybe about 5 or 6 tablespoons total. That's what gives it its bluish tint. And then I started putting in cornstarch until I got it to a consistency that I liked. The goal is for it to be fairly firm. You want it to be able to move around the bag, kind of like a goo, like you can see there. You don't want it to be a putty. If you put in too much cornstarch, it will turn into kind of putty, which is fun, but not going to work for the activities I'm going to show you. If you don't add enough cornstarch, it'll be too liquidy, and you do want it to kind of hold its shape a little bit. Okay. When I show you these activities, I'm going to use the hair gel goo bags. I'm going to move my camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So this first bag I'm going to show you is going to work on fine motor skills. So we have a little maze and we have a coin in here. Let me bring the coin up where you can see it. Okay, so the goal of this activity is going to be to get the coin to go through the maze. You can draw on your own maze and you can make it as hard or as easy as you like depending on how your student will do. And again, this is going to work on a few fine motor skills. So when you're moving this coin, you're going to use one finger. That's index finger isolation. And you're also going to have to stabilize with one hand while you move the coin with the other hand. And that is what we call bilateral coordination. That is a goal that a lot of our students have. So once you get it inside the maze, just go ahead and try to guide it down through. If your student has a pinching goal, you can try to see if they can use 2 fingers. That is a little bit harder though. It's easier to just push it with one finger. Okay, and that is how you work on fine motor skills with one of these goo bags. I'm going to bring another one in. And this one is going to show you how to do a little sorting activity, which is great for visual perceptual skills. One thing I forgot to mention with the last one, if your student does have trouble with that bilateral coordination, holding the bag down with one hand and moving the penny with the other, you can also use tape. I recommend painter's tape to put it down on your tabletop so that it doesn't move around. You'll want to tape down all 4 corners. You can even have your student help you put down the tape. That's another good way to work on fine motor skills. And it's also a nice way to make sure that it doesn't start leaking out and make a mess all over your table. Okay, so for this activity, we're going to do a little sorting game. Now, I have in here quarters and pennies because I know a few of my personal students do have coin sorting goals at school. I know a lot of other students have color sorting goals, so you could, for example, get 2 different colored buttons, a pile of green buttons and a pile of red buttons, put them inside the bag, draw a green circle and a red circle, and have them work on sorting that way. I'm going to work on sorting these coins. So first, you're going to have your student find a coin. You might want to have them clear off some of the extra gel so you can see it really well. And then you want your student to tell you, is that a quarter or is that a penny? There are a few different ways that your student can make a choice. Of course, if they can verbally tell you, just have them go ahead and verbally tell you. If your student is working on using a talker, and that might be something they're working on in speech, they can use their talker to tell you quarter or penny. Or if neither of those are an option, You can hold up a quarter and a penny and have them point to which one they think it is. Once they have the right answer, have them go ahead, use that pointer finger, work on those fine motor skills to push it into the circle. And keep going until you have them all sorted. So here's a quarter, and we'll push that over to the quarters. Here's a penny, push that over to the pennies. And again, you can do this with anything that your student is working on sorting. It doesn't have to be coins. Okay, we'll clear that out, and I'm going to flip the bag over to show you the next activity. Now, this next activity is going to be for our students who have handwriting goals or visual motor goals. So you can use this goo bag, simply work on writing letters, shapes, numbers, or anything else inside the bag. So hopefully you'll be able to see it when I drag my finger. The gel is firm enough that it holds, and you can see where I've written with my fingers. So I'll write the letter M. And then you can clear it off. You can do shapes. Here's a square. You can do numbers. Or if your student isn't at the stage yet where they are doing shapes and numbers and letters, you can have them work on what we call pre-writing strokes. That might be part of your student's goal. There are a few different pre-writing strokes. 3 of the most common are just straight lines, horizontal lines, and diagonal lines. And then if they've mastered those, you can move on to circles and other shapes. You can also, instead of just using your finger, if you do have a soft point pen like a stylus, you can have them try to write using the stylus inside the bag. Just be a little bit careful that the bag isn't going to break. So those are 3 easy and fun activities. I hope that was helpful. If none of those are appropriate for your student, you can also just use these bags as a nice way to do some sensory exploration. You can add in glitter, colorful objects, anything that you know your student likes. If you do have a student who likes to put things in their mouth and you're a little bit worried about using things like hair gel and soap, you can make pudding or jello and put those inside the bag, and that would work exactly the same way. Thank you so much for joining me. I cannot wait to get back to school. I hope everybody is staying healthy, and have a good rest of your week.